So, I just got done watching a video on this man's review on Ethiopian women because, after all Ethiopian women are the same. And so, he came to the consensus that many Ethiopian women are religious, which is true. Many Ethiopian women descend from the tribes of Israel, and many are Christian, and this kind of thing. And so that would be an obvious issue if you're a man of the world with Manosphere mentality, because God puts the seed in his young ladies to have a higher standard for their men. And so if you're around a man that is like reflecting those narcissistic characteristics and is constantly trying to degrade you and is domineering and is trying to use intellectualism to get you to submit and is really fond of gaslighting, you're not going to have a lot of patience to put up with him, and you're going to recognize that he's trying to use game on you from the beginning, because God has literally turned a switch on in you to give you discernment concerning these kinds of things. And so I think the author of this video misconstrued that discernment for these Ethiopian women being stuck on themselves or stuck up or whatever the deal is, because a lot of people cannot take rejection as well, and that's not to condemn them or anything. Rejection can be very hard, but if you're used to using some kind of tactics on women and it's not working on a certain group of women, you might just resort to, they're feminists or they're man haters or whatever the deal is, because the truth of the matter is they have standards and you're not meeting the qualifications. And so this is what it seemed like with this gentleman. He thought like a lot of Ethiopian women were feminists, and I'm like, no, that's not feminism. That's just them being wise, because really, even as a believer, you're not even supposed to be dating non-believers in the first place. And the fact that you want to go over into these countries and date all these different women say that your beliefs are not aligning with theirs, because if they're Christians or Hebrews, we're not supposed to be dating a bunch of people. We're supposed to have one husband and that's it. And so it started to get into his value assessment of them concerning their appearance. So Ethiopian women have more feminine features. I don't know where that assessment came from. I've seen a lot of women in my life. I've been to 12 countries, and I can say every woman that has a face has feminine features. Like, it's on her face, she's a female, that's feminine features. But I guess they're associating, the big eyes and maybe the bigger lips, which is not true of all Ethiopians, with being more feminine. Sure, I guess. There's sometimes I look at men and they have that kind of look to them, like almost like a romantic look, I guess. I guess I don't really say it's feminine, actually. I changed my mind. That's just how they look. But yeah, I think that because they come from a place of vanity and shallowness, you're not going to be attractive to a woman that's not like that. I mean, everything he was saying was based on appearance and something that he pulled out of thin air. And this is the problem with the philosophy of men, it cannot be replicated, There's no substance to it. There's no substance to it. And so I was kind of begging this guy. I was like, please stay away from these Ethiopian women. Do not bring your dirt over into the world, because this is what happens when you start to hang out with people that don't want to do right. That's why God told us not to be unevenly yoked, and why he said, what association does the light have with the dark? I was walking in Walmart the other month, and there was a moldy orange sitting next to a nice orange, or a few nice oranges, and I noticed one orange that was kind of touching the mold was starting to get moldy itself. And so this is why God says, do not associate with these kinds of people, because they will make your light into darkness. So I don't even know why these people think they can just have any woman that they want to by manipulative means. Like, no, a true woman is going to have standards, and she's going to, she's not going to waste your time, if you don't meet her standards, she's just going to ignore you or tell you what it is, because nobody wants to be with that, If your parents have been teaching you from the beginning, you need to be married, and, this is your value and your worth as a person, and you come into the picture with all your manosphere ideology, they're not going to want anything to do with you, because you're literally like poison to them. And that's no offense to you, but that poison that's in your heart, that's what's coming out your mouth, that's what your mind is controlled by. And so you start acting in certain ways toward this woman that was fine before you came along, and all of a sudden, again, she starts to look like you. So I just want to be honest about these things, because I've noticed that in my life when I'm around certain people, I start to feel a certain way. Like their darkness is starting to rub off of me, and all of a sudden, I'm tired or whatever the deal is. And, a lot of people might say, oh, well, Jesus sat with sinners, but Jesus sat with sinners that wanted to repent. And that's the difference, because not everybody wants to repent. They don't. Not everybody wants to do good. And these men don't want to do good. They're not at that place. They are like, let's get all these women of the world and see if they'll serve me, They want a traditional woman without being traditional. And that's not going to work for a traditional woman. So you guys be blessed and have a good one. Bye.